Hey, my name is Rowan Smith and I want to welcome you to the Training for Trekking podcast. Now, this is the world's very first podcast which is entirely dedicated to helping you train, prepare and conquer your upcoming hike, trek or mountain adventure. So once a week, I'm going to be giving you quality and practical information on the subjects of physical preparation for trekking, dealing with altitude and nutrition on the trail, so you can know everything you need to be doing to have the best chance of a safe, enjoyable and successful adventure. So now you know what you're in for. Let's get into today's episode. All right, hello guys. So today I want to share with you a really simple hiking workout which you can actually do while you're on the trail. So, for any hiker that is going through a bit of a training process, maybe they're leading up to a particular trip, maybe they're sort of just trying to actively improve their fitness, their strength, their capacities for the trail, or whatever it may be. Obviously training is a big part of that because that's literally what we talk about in this podcast. We talk about strength training, cardio sessions, recovery sessions, and all of that. And quite often when we look at hiking in the training context, we kind of think of hiking of, okay, we're just going to go out and hike. We're going to do a certain distance, a certain time with a certain pack weight, maybe a certain amount of elevation, and we're just going to go out and do that. And 99% of the time, in all honesty, I think that's enough. And I think just getting out and hiking and just having some particular targets to aim for, I think that in conjunction with everything else, it can be a really good way of going about things. But sometimes people just want to get maybe a little bit more out of their hiking. Or maybe sometimes they want to challenge themselves on the trail a little bit more. Or sometimes people just want to, just mix it up on the trail and just not just be doing the casual walking and casual pace that they do all the time. And they want something a little bit more out of their hiking. And if you fall into any of those categories during a training process, this little workout I'm going to be talking you through can be a good thing to try. And it can actually be quite fun, a nice challenge, and it can be a way to mix things up. So this particular workout I'm going to recommend, it really works best, and I guess it only really works, if you have a regular trail that you hike on. So there's something in your regular routine, regular local area where you might go and hike once a week, or every couple of weeks, or once a month, or something that you're going to go back to regularly. It doesn't really work if you're just doing different trails all the time, and if you are, that's absolutely fine. But this one only particularly works if you're doing a regular trail. And it's really simple. When you go out on your hikes on this particular trail, and when you go out in your training sessions on this particular trail, for the majority of it, just cruise along as normal. Work at your normal pace, cruise along with your pack, do whatever you normally do. But at some point in this trail, choose a particular section, a start point and an end point that you're really going to push things. So this can be a flat section that maybe you've got a clear run of flat and you're like, you know what, I can push the pace here. This may be a particularly steep section going up and you're like, oh, this is a big hill or this is a big climb, whatever it may be. Or any particular section that you feel like you would like to push things. And choose a set start point and a set end point. So if you're using the hill example, you might choose, okay, I'm going to start at this tree at the bottom of the hill. I'm going to stop at, a big rock at the top of the hill. And have a really clear set and start point. And then basically during your hike, cruise along as normal. And when you come to this particular section that you've decided on, from the start point to the end point, you are going to push things really quick. You're going to go as quick as you can while you're walking. You don't want to be running, but really as quick as you can. Power march up there, really push yourself, get the pace going, and really challenge yourself there. And ideally, this section, it does want to be, it's not just a minute or 2 or 3, but this should be 5 minutes plus. So it's a pretty, long struggle, long section. And you push it all the way, start to finish. And on top of that, you also time yourself on this section. So at the start to the end, you time yourself, you keep a track of it, and you push it as quick as you can. Then you get to the end, stop that timer, record the time, and then just carry on your hike as normal. It's a normal, absolute normal pace. And then essentially next time you do this particular trail, whether it's in a week, 2 weeks, a month, or whatever it may be, again, do your hike as normal. But this particular section time yourself again, push it again, and try to beat your time that you did last time. And every single time you do this trail, just try to push that section, try to beat that time, and give yourself challenge like that. Now, I find this can be a really, really awesome way of going about things if you are looking at adding a little bit of extra challenge to your hiking. Because, sometimes when we look at a whole hike and maybe we're timing a whole hike and you're like, say, hey, I'm doing a regular trail, but I'm going to, really hustle for them start to finish for the entire trail. Sometimes some people enjoy that, fair enough. But in all honesty, for a lot of people, it does suck a lot of the fun out of the day out. For a lot of us hiking, we're not hiking for a workout. Some of us are. But we're not hiking to absolutely push ourselves to the limit. We're hiking to to enjoy ourselves, to have a good time, to take in nature and all of this. So sometimes going in with the mindset of saying, I'm going to hike from start to finish as quick as I can, it can be a bit of counterintuitive. It can suck a bit of the fun out, and it can turn it into purely training as opposed to an enjoyable experience. But when you go about it like this and you just choose one section of an entire hike to use as that challenge, it can be that really nice balance between going out and enjoying yourself, but also having that extra challenge, that competition, that struggle that you're sort of looking for, if that is something you're chasing. So I honestly think it can be a good thing to try out. So if you're the type of hiker who is looking for a little bit extra challenge in their hikes, and you do have a regular trail that you go out and do, I recommend give this a go. Choose a section, time yourself, push it, and then just keep a track of that and see how you progress moving forward. I think this can be a really, really, really fun way of doing things, and it can be a nice way of just sort of seeing how you're progressing over time. So I think that's enough on this subject today. I hope it's given you a few ideas. I hope it gives some hikers some inspiration to go out and give this a crack. And I think it can be a really nice inclusion into a lot of people's training if they're the type of person who would enjoy this. So that's enough on this subject. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you got a bit out of it. Hope you have a lovely, lovely day. And we'll talk to you very, very soon.